Hey Falcons, I miss you. I hope you're well. This is Mrs. B. This is my first video, and I hope you like it and subscribe. I will post a new video every Tuesday. All right, so our first one is Gaston. This one is by Kelly Dipucchio and Christian Robinson. Gaston. Mrs. Poodle admired her new puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and Gaston. Would you like to see them again? Okay, well that's Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and Gaston. Perfectly precious, aren't they? Mrs. Poodle thought so too, and the puppies grew, as puppies do. And 3 were no longer teacups. The 4th, however, continued to grow and grow until he was the size of a teapot. Mrs. Poodle took pride in teaching the puppies how to be proper pooches. They taught them how never to sip, never to slobber. Good, well done, very nice, nice try. And they were taught to yip, never yap. Yip, 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 ruff. And they were taught to walk with grace and never race. Tiptoe, tiptoe. The puppies were also taught how to look pretty in pink, nibble their kibble, and ride with style. Whatever lesson, Gaston always worked the hardest, practiced the longest, and smiled the biggest. Mrs. Poodle was very pleased with her puppies, Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and Gaston. Spring arrived, and the proud mother was eager to show off her darlings. She took them to the park for their very first stroll in public. There was much to see, daffodils and ducklings and dogs. Oh dear. What do we have here? Well, this is Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. Would you like to see them again? Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. This was more than a little awkward. The mothers sized up their pups, and the pups sized up one another. And it seemed there had been a terrible mistake. Mrs. Bulldog said, breaking her silence. Ooh, Mrs. Poodle read softly. What should we do? Mrs. Bulldog could not come up with an answer. Well, I guess we'll let them decide, she replied at last. Gaston and Antoinette were young, but they could see that they had been a mix-up. The 2 puppies began circling around and around the group. Gaston walked with grace and Antoinette raced. Gaston yipped and Antoinette yapped. And when they finally came to a stop, the puppies had traded places. There. That looked right. It just didn't feel right. That evening, Antoinette tried to fit in with her sisters, but she did not do anything proper, precious, or pink. Phooey! And on the other side of town, Gaston tried to fit in with his new brothers, but he didn't like anything brutish or brawny or brown. Ick! Antoinette and Gaston weren't the only ones who were having a hard time adjusting. The next morning, Miss Poodle forgot all about being proper and raced to the park. Mrs. Bulldog was already there waiting for her burly broad. It seems that there's been a terrible mistake, she nearly shouted. Oh, oui, said Mrs. Poodle happily. This time, Gaston and Antoinette wasted no time trading places. There, that looked right, and felt right too. From that day forward, the puppies met in the park in the afternoon to play. Rocky and Ricky and Bruno and Antoinette took turns with the poodle puppies and taught them a thing or two about being rough. And likewise, Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and Gaston taught the bulldog puppies a thing or two about being tender. And many, many years later, when Gaston and Antoinette fell in love and had puppies of their own, they taught them to be whatever they wanted to be. The end. All right, Falcons, have a magical day and stay well. See you next Tuesday.